Hello, my cabbages. Welcome back to another mapping video. Kind of start this out. WICSO 34. You thought the green team over here would last? Yeah, no, this green team actually is not lasting. Yeah, honestly not that surprising. Yeah. So I got pale green, kind of seafoam color. Yeah, this was to be expected, as well, you know, far away, even the green team company was like half expecting, but they're like, it's constellation presence, they're like, of course, kind of just feel disappointed about it. They're like, ain't no thing about it. Yeah. Disappointed. Well, got some teams. Lavender team has done like nothing. Okay, Lavender team. I don't know why I'm bringing up the Lavender team, but they have not done anything a hot second. And the purple team seems to have an advantage. They're starting to get really threatened now because, well, you know, they thought it'd be fine, but now that, like, ooh, that's the same exact color. How did I manage to make that the same exact color? That's kind of impressive. Now they're actually invading one of their core teams, and the Lavender team is an old team, episode 2 team. Right, yeah. But it's just not that strong team, kind of been in the background for a while. But they're kind of like, whoa, this is happening? They're doing fairly well because, well, they're actually been training up their military, kind of, even with the sanctions, which honestly was probably light for how much they left. You know, how much damage they did, but honestly, more of these guys didn't care as much because there's more of the gray team enforcing those sanctions. And it's been a bit, it's been probably like 50 years now, even though the economic downturn's been happening. It's been also affecting the Lavender team. And the pink team is like, why not? Because we kind of don't like the Lavender team that much. They don't really have a hate towards it, but like, don't really like them either. So, let's join in on this. If we can get some land, then sweet deal. So they start jumping the Lavender team too, and the Lavender team's like, whoa. I'm getting jumped. Completely, like, surprised and taken back, which makes sense because, well, they weren't really doing anything. And, the people, honestly, they don't really have any strong feelings about their government because their government's just kind of been there, not doing much, and then, they basically go like, the people kind of just submit to their force. Surprisingly well. They do what they do best: political assassination, new ruler, and surprisingly quickly, well, they're done for. Even let the pink team to take the capital. Good for them. And they take these major cities, and this is really alarming. The Lavender team is an old team, and not a powerful team by any metric, but an old team, and not that important either, but still. The other teams I was looking at this like, how did this team that just lost wars on a rampage and supposed to be like down, right? They just lost a war. Now they're starting more, picking up nations one by one. Who's gonna be next? Yeah. So the purple team's actually not as weak as we thought they were. And might actually need another war to get taken down. I know, crazy. The gray team could, like, in any other scenario, fight them, but with the gray team, they're still the same team. This is to make sure, like, light gray, and dark gray are still the same team right now. They're just kind of slowly drifting apart. Slow rift kind of forming, which right now isn't that bad, but kind of expanses as, like, basically it started off as 3 siblings, now 3 cousins, so it's like cousins are slowly getting more distance, and this is not helping their stability. Uh, yeah, and to help with this, or not help with this, the Dark Red team kind of seeing this is like, if they're not stable, then, well, what are they gonna do, stop us? And they're supposed to, like, in the pact that they agreed, they said, like, if one of us gets attacked, then we'll help the other ones, but the other nations, the other, parts are like, why do we have to help them? Like, they're the weakest out of all of us, and, like, they're not really doing much for us, and they just kind of get steamrolled, because the Dark Red team is surprisingly powerful. I feel like they're a bit underestimated currently, but they're just kind of getting swept a bit. They're like, what, huh? And, getting taken over, and they're kind of like starting, push back a bit, but this is going way too well for the red team. Way too well for the red team, and should not be going this well, and is starting to creep towards their capital, and also creep over in these areas. And they are concerned, and finally, troops arrive, but it's only like a tiny amount of troops. Like, they're not tiny, but like, they start taking back some areas, they start taking back these areas, and you make a push into the country, but like, it should be way more practically. If they're the same nation, then they should be supporting each other, but some reason why they don't really feel inclined to support them, even though, well, this was in their pact and their treaty, but they feel like it doesn't benefit them enough to support them. And this isn't helping their stability. They're like, start pushing back up here, and the red team's like, and honestly, it's kind of going as planned, because the Dark Red team kind of been plotting with Grey team, saying, if you give them less supplies and less troops, then we'll treat you better when we take them over. And at first they're kind of like, let's just watch and sit back and see, but after them kind of winning pretty handily, they're like, they're a safer bet than the Grey team anyways. I don't trust my cousin, and basically allow them to get invaded. And first, comes of this because the light gray team doesn't know yet, but the light gray team does the investigation and finds out, they've been bribed. Someone goes by, a couple of second cousins, and this war has been slow grind, but the red team's definitely handily winning. And yeah, they finally find out and go like, what? No. I'm just saying now, I'm not going to change their color, but the light gray team is officially a different nation. And the dark gray team sees this and is like, I don't think we can trust the gray team, so the dark gray team is now officially another nation. Yeah, I'm officially splitting them. They were not tied together in any way. Dark gray team looking at the gray team like, why did you just betray our brother? And then we have the light gray team getting betrayed, and the normal gray team kind of betraying. So they're kind of like proxy, but doesn't really strong alliance here. But the dark gray team sends some troops to help, but they're like, maybe the gray team's right. Maybe they're not actually that suited for war. So like, they still send some troops, but it's not going well. They push back like decent amount with like a new wave of troops coming in, not as far as they should, and they're eventually like, just please can we not? And the red team, is like, okay, how about we just keep the borders that we have, and then you just give us all of that? And they're like, ooh, that's a hard blow, but can't really do anything about it because, well, they're the losing team. Losing team doesn't get to make the peace treaties. Doesn't get to make the borders. Yeah. Whew. Not to bueno. No bueno. Para two for you. No. Damn. Para usted. Spanish has been a while. I'm on a 4-day weekend because, yeah, 4-day weekend. MLK Day. So I'm recording this on MLK Day, and it's probably going to come out after knowing me because it's late anyways. Don't give too much personal information away. But yeah, the red team itself is also semi-distraction, but like, I wouldn't worry about that. Won't come up until the next episode. I mean, spoilers. But yeah. Anyways, with all this war kind of unfolding, colonies have kind of just been chilling a bit. Not really doing much. I mean, they're more involved in this war. That's why I had a world war, even though it's still more of a Great War 3. But countries kind of, I feel like a new boat invention. New, like, sailing invention that allows them to sail a lot farther and actually allows, a team to maybe, like, sail from like, you know, say the red team capital all the way out, even like past where this would be inland. So it's like a really powerful invention. I'm not gonna name the invention, but which allows the teams to kind of be more powerful. Black team colony, and green team colony, orange team colony, and the indigo team colony are kind of, you know, the only ones left. But wow, Indigo colony was feeling pretty pieced about last war, and feeling that they're kind of distracted, they can do better. So they basically restart a war over here, go like, you know, no, we don't accept this. And they're kind of caught off guard, and they managed to basically blitz these areas. And with the better ship technology, they're able to ship more troops over, which makes the war go faster and better and more efficient. And they're like, oh my, even take over here. And, why is it? I don't know what some of the errors on these maps are. And, I mean, like, yeah, they push back a bit, you know, not completely just steaming full force ahead. But, yeah, and they kind of realize, oh, maybe we can't win this. So, this is a actually rather quick peace treaty, surprisingly. And they just take the areas that they had. And they're kind of salty about this. The Indigo team colony is looking the best they have in, well, really years and years and years. Maybe even ever, because with new boat technology, more imports, and really just other nations are like, you know what? These actually colonies are looking profitable again. Because before they're kind of really hard to maintain. I mean, they're still kind of hard now, but a lot less hard to maintain. So-called the orange team, but it's a different orange team. Yeah, the Indigo team with boat technology, and the red team originally had to sell off their colony because it wasn't being profitable. Decides, what if we restart a colony? But they're like, where could we start a colony? And they're like, all this area is taken over, so they're like, why not invasion? I mean, they're just colonial. They're just ex-colonies. Like, how strong could they be? Famous last words. Start attacking these areas. Oh, I gotta make them a different color. Start attacking these areas. And they're kind of caught off guard by this. They're like, whoa, I didn't know that you really wanted a colony here and it's that important. They kind of get, you know, a lot of these areas taken back quickly, and they're like, yeah, they're trying to fight back, but it really is kind of true. They are more technologically advanced and also just stronger as a nation, and especially with these new boats, they can ship in more crew members. Oh my god, ship in more crew members, and it's really just doing better for them. They kind of chip away at it, but they're like, okay, you know, screw this, screw war. Just allow them to have it. Rather reluctantly, definitely rather reluctantly, they allow the red team to have a colony over here. Yeah, red team colony is back again. It's been a while. The other nations are kind of seeing this and like, oh, maybe we can actually get something back again. These colonies and these areas up here are kind of scared because, honestly, originally the wave of colonization was more of like the island chain helped them. This is like true colonization. And who do you think will be next? Will it be who and who? The red team kind of losing the war, pink team not doing well, purple team actually surprisingly on the rise. And well, so yeah, it is the dark red team. Even though they've been kind of, falling off slowly, they're like, we can prove our worth as a nation by attacking this ex-blue team colony, and specifically up north, which is a bit harder to get to. But they are friendly, kind of friendly with the black team, so they basically go black team port and then over to here, landing. So they land in this area, and they're kind of like, whoa, and like they could go better, but they're actually not as strong, so they can only make it like a small kind of push in before kind of stalemating, really. Send more supplies in. The other team sends more supplies. They're slowly advancing. And kind of this area. So they're like slowly advancing. Until they kind of really just stalemate here. And they're like, okay, I'm happy with this colony size. Not gonna be too greedy. And just take this colony. Yeah. Yeah. But well, there's another nation that decides, why would we take them when we can just make our own colony, be competent? Purple team. Purple team basically goes through the dark red team, goes over to here, goes through the orange team. You might be like, the orange team's not friendly, but remember, it's not the same orange team. This is rebellion of the orange team, which they are friendly. Goes to the orange team and goes down over here. So yeah, purple team colony, or purple empire colony. I would say purple empire, but they're really the only main purple team because the other one's dead. Crazy. When did that happen? So they actually start out and do some exploring and do the typical, typical European thing. They got the typical Amazonian thing, well, really just American thing in general, and just go de jure, basically saying we claim this. And big colony. And they manage to make it semi good looking because they know the Committee for Better Borders. I still remember that. For Better Borders, kind of making this just making it squally just because the Committee for Better Borders exists, and claiming this area, making a pretty sizable colony. Which there's a pretty sizable team, and also they don't have much thing to stop them other than this, the team over here, which is actually looking pretty big. Surprisingly so, I feel like. But yeah. So a lot of other teams are saying it's like, more colonial empire. But they're thinking more instead over here. Well, yeah. We have all this happening, and really just is this really? Yeah, we got all of their all the stuff. What am I doing right now? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. We got these different teams. Some of these borders are not good. Damn. There we go, a bit better like that. Haven't really talked much about the Philippines recently because, well, not much has really been happening recently. Some team kind of wanting to restore their former glory. We have the great team with the better boat technology, and also maybe illegally landing on some of these islands. Even though the dark red team isn't really a fan of that. They may or may not have found a way over here and decide we should take what's ours. And start taking back some of these areas, specifically the loyalist areas that would be most likely to join them. And there's like half opposition, but also they're like, let's get liberated by the gray team. Mainly the leaders, the people are still kind of iffy about that, and they basically managed to kind of just liberate this area, or liberate in quotes, as they say, kind of just claiming their claim, and nobody really fights it. So they're like, well, we had a claim and nobody fought it, so it's ours now. And they start attacking these other areas, like the green area over here, and start attacking an area down here. The green team attacking these areas, and slowly kind of gaining, because, well, they're the gray team, they're still strong, but all of these came on one shipment, because, like, and the dark red team sees this and is like, oh, we gotta pay extra attention. So they basically pay extra attention to make sure nothing slips through, so they can't send more troops, and the troop supply slowly dwindles, leading them to kind of just retreat a bit, and, you know, kind of just take back these areas, and take back these areas as the dwindling troop supply is slowly retreating. Wasn't really the best long-term plan, and they decided, you know, why leave a team there, and why not just take them? So they kind of take some of these areas, kind of divvying it up in a fairest way they see fit. Different teams taking different areas. Not really that contested because, well, it wasn't really that strong in the first place. And you can take it over here. Light blue team wasn't really involved with this war. So yeah, gray team is pushed out of the area once again. Yeah. So yeah, we got this whole area being liberated on Borneo. But that was short. I think getting inconsequential, as really just showing crumbling downfall. Great team, you know, different beliefs, and the other people was like, that was stupid. Why did we do that? And it was stupid, to be honest. Yeah, they just really wanted to show their glory. So we basically got the patriotic, just, well, patriotic, is that only American thing? But like basically just, you know, loyalists, like, oh, gotta be the best great team and press the government and be the best, or versus the ones that are like, we don't need to Democrats or Republicans. Oh, it really feels like it though. Yeah, but I think that might be all, and goodbye, my cabbages.